I dare you. I dare you to go silent. I dare you to stop explaining yourself. Stop posting your plans. Stop announcing your next move to people who are secretly waiting to see if you fail. I dare you to disappear. Not for attention, not for drama, but for transformation. Disappear for 6 months, and before you brush that off, let's stop pretending for a moment. Not the version of you that smiles on social media, not the polite version you show at work. I'm talking about the real you, the one who looks into the mirror late at night when the world finally shuts up, the one who knows deep down that something isn't right. Let me ask you something uncomfortable. Are you living the life you promised yourself 5 years ago? Or are you just reliving the same year over and over, calling it a life? Same goals, same excuses, same fears. Different calendar. We live in a world addicted to noise, busy schedules, endless notifications, constant stimulation. Everyone wants applause before the work, recognition before discipline, the victory speech before the battle. And here's the truth nobody wants to tell you: you are not tired because you're doing too much. You're tired because you're doing too little of what actually matters. You are exhausted from pretending, drained from maintaining an image of progress while feeling empty inside. And if nothing changes, if nothing radical happens, 6 months from now, you'll be sitting in the same place with the same bank account, fighting the same demons, making the same excuses. So let me ask you a dangerous question. What if you shut it all down? What if you unplugged from the noise? What if you stopped being available to everyone else so you could finally become available to yourself? I'm not talking about escaping to a beach. That's not growth. That's avoidance. I'm talking about ghost mode. A season of such deep focus, such ruthless discipline, such intentional isolation, that people start asking where you went. They text you, and you don't reply right away. They look for you in the usual places, the bars, the distractions, the time wasting routines, and you're not there because you've entered the dark room. You see, we love the shiny outcome. We celebrate the athlete holding the trophy, the entrepreneur ringing the bell, the artist standing under bright lights. But nobody sees the nights of doubt, the loneliness, the discipline when no one is watching. Greatness is not built in the spotlight. Greatness is built in silence. Think about a photograph. A masterpiece isn't created in the light. It's developed in the dark. Expose it too early, and you ruin it. And that's what you've been doing with your life. Exposing your dreams before they're ready. Seeking validation before the work is complete. It's time to go dark, not as punishment, as strategy, a conscious withdrawal from the noise, so you can finally hear your own voice. Because until you do, you'll keep living someone else's expectations and dying quietly inside. Let me warn you before you step any further. The moment you choose silence, the pain begins. Not physical pain first, mental pain. Because when the noise disappears, you remain. No notifications, no distractions, no one to impress. Just you and the thoughts you've been running from. The first 30 days will feel like hell. Your old habits will scream for attention. Your brain, addicted to cheap dopamine, will beg for a hit. Your fingers will twitch, reaching for a phone that no longer owns you. You will feel lonely. You will feel bored. You will feel like you're missing out. And that discomfort, that is the withdrawal. You are detoxing from distraction. Most people never make it past this phase. They mistake discomfort for danger. They confuse boredom with failure, so they run back to noise, back to validation, back to the same life they claimed they wanted to escape. But you are going to sit in the fire. You will let the silence burn away the weak dependencies. You will stop running from your own reflection. Because here's the truth most people avoid: we are terrified of ourselves. There was a study where people were left alone in a room, no phone, no music, no stimulation. Just 15 minutes. They were given one option: press a button and receive a painful electric shock. And most of them did. They chose pain over silence. That's how uncomfortable we are with our own thoughts. That's how addicted we are to distraction. But you are done numbing yourself. You are ready to feel the weight of your unrealized potential and use it as fuel. This is mental warfare. Your mind will lie to you. It will tell you you're falling behind, that others are winning while you're invisible. That voice is not truth. That voice is fear fighting for survival. You are not falling behind. You are loading the slingshot. Isolation is not loneliness when it's chosen. Isolation is power. When you cut off the noise, something dangerous happens. You begin to hear your own thoughts clearly. And that's when the real work begins. You must conduct a mirror audit. Stand in front of the mirror. No music, no hype, no filters. And ask yourself questions you've been avoiding. Who am I pretending to be? What is slowly ruining my life? What habits are killing my future? Be ruthless. Be honest. Because self-deception is the most expensive lie you'll ever believe. Then comes the hardest part: your circle. You cannot change your life and keep the same environment. Some people in your life benefit from you staying small. Your comfort makes them comfortable. Your stagnation protects their excuses. When you disappear, they'll notice. They'll say you've changed. They'll say you're acting different. Good. You are different. You're no longer available for mediocrity. You're no longer feeding other people's chaos. Not everyone deserves access to you during your becoming. You are entering the cave, a physical space, a mental space, a sacred space where the world cannot touch you. This is where you operate on your mind. You remove the junk, the toxic inputs, the limiting beliefs planted years ago. Because you don't build a masterpiece in a contaminated environment. You become the guardian of your attention. Nothing enters that doesn't serve the vision. This is the war phase. No applause, no audience, just discipline versus desire. And make no mistake, your old self will fight to survive. It will whisper comfort. It will offer excuses dressed as logic. Ignore it. Because on the other side of this isolation, on the other side of this pain, is a version of you that cannot be controlled. At some point in this journey, something subtle changes. The pain doesn't disappear, but it stops controlling you. The silence no longer feels empty. It starts to feel powerful. This is where discipline replaces motivation. Understand this clearly. Motivation is unreliable. It comes and goes with your mood, your sleep, your emotions. Discipline does not care how you feel. Discipline is a decision that has already been made. You stop waking up asking, "Do I feel like doing the work today?" That question no longer exists. The work gets done. Because that's who you are now. This is the identity shift. You stop trying to become disciplined. You become disciplined. Your goals are no longer suggestions. They are commands. You establish a baseline no matter what happens, whether you feel confident or doubtful, inspired or exhausted. The baseline does not change. If you are a writer, you write. If you are a builder, you build. If you are an athlete, you train. No negotiation, no excuses. You stop treating your life like a multiple choice question. The decision was made when you went dark. And here's where most people fail to understand the process. Breakthrough does not arrive loudly. It doesn't announce itself. It doesn't come with fireworks. It sneaks in quietly. It shows up as consistency, as boredom, as repetition. You begin to understand the power of incremental dominance. 1% better each day. It doesn't feel impressive on day 10. It doesn't look exciting on day 30. But compound that over 6 months and you become unrecognizable. This is where the boredom becomes sacred. There's no one clapping when you choose discipline over comfort. No applause when you say no to distractions. No recognition for showing up when nobody's watching. But this is where separation happens. This is where the gap widens. While others chase quick pleasure, you invest in long-term power. Your body changes, not just in appearance, but in authority. You train not to look good, but to suffer voluntarily. Because every time you push through resistance, you teach your mind one lesson. Pain is not a stop sign, it's a signal for growth. And that lesson bleeds into every area of your life, your business, your finances, your relationships. You stop flinching, you stop avoiding hard conversations, hard decisions, hard truths. You become dangerous, not to others, but to your own limitations. But let me warn you, there is a trap here. Fake work. Planning instead of executing. Organizing instead of building. Talking instead of doing. That is procrastination dressed up as productivity. You kill that habit immediately. You do the thing you're afraid of. The call you've been avoiding, the project you're scared to start, the risk you've been delaying. Fear doesn't disappear before action. Fear dissolves because of action. Confidence is not something you feel. It's something you earn. And you earn it by keeping promises to yourself. Every promise kept builds self-trust. Every excuse made destroys it. This is when your inner voice changes. It stops questioning you. It starts respecting you. You no longer need validation from the world because you have evidence. You know what you're capable of because you've proven it in silence. You've entered the phase where discipline is automatic, focus is sharp, and distractions lose their grip. This is the breakthrough, not the result, the becoming. Now listen carefully. You didn't go through the pain just to feel stronger. You didn't isolate just to prove a point. You didn't disappear just to be missed. You did it to become someone you can never unsee again. Because once you've lived with discipline, once you've felt the calm confidence that comes from keeping your word, once you've experienced the power of silence and focus, you can never go back. This is the return. But you don't return the same way you left. You re-enter the world different, quieter, sharper, more grounded. You don't announce your comeback. You don't explain yourself. You don't seek permission. Your presence does the talking. People will feel it before they understand it. They'll say things like, you've changed, you're different, you're intense now, and you won't argue. Because they're right. You're no longer reactive. You're no longer desperate for approval. You're no longer living for noise, attention, or applause. You are living with direction. You've built something inside you that can't be taken away, self-trust. And that is power. Life will test you again. Make no mistake about that. The storms will come. Loss will come. Pressure will come. But now, you don't break. You bend. You adapt. You execute. Because you've already been to war with yourself, and you won. You understand something most people never will. The real enemy was never the world. It was distraction, comfort, the weak version of you that wanted to stay small. And that version is gone, buried. Now this is your responsibility. Do not waste what you've built. Do not go back to old habits out of nostalgia. Do not reopen doors that almost destroyed you. Do not shrink yourself to make others comfortable. You earned this edge. Protect it. Every day recommit, not with hype, with action. Get up early. Do the work. Move your body. Sharpen your mind. Honor your word. Even when no one is watching. Especially then, because the greatest victory isn't being seen. It's knowing. Knowing you didn't quit. Knowing you didn't fold. Knowing you didn't betray your potential. And now, this is your final call. Stop waiting for the right moment. Stop asking for motivation. Stop explaining your vision to people who can't see it. Go silent. Go focused. Go relentless. Let the next 6 months change everything. And when the world finally notices, let them wonder how you did it. You'll know you built it in the dark. Now go. Execute. Dominate. And never return to who you used to be. Thank you for being with InnerStrength. If this unified story has touched your ambition, your purpose, or your American dream. Stay connected with us. Don't let motivation end with a period. Let it continue with action. Subscribe to Inner Strength. Press the like button to support more powerful content, and share this message with someone across the USA who needs to hear it today. Inner Strength is here every day to remind you, stay hungry, stay strong, and never stay down.